Okay, we are in Shoftim, in Judges, the book of Judges, chapter 4, verse 10. And it says, V'yazek Barak et Zevulun, v'et Naphtali Kedsha. So Barak assembled Zevulun and Naphtali toward Kadesh, V'yal Baraglav, and he went up to the, and he went up to his feet, at his feet, Asert Alfei Ish, 10,000 men. V'ta'al imo Devora, and Devora went up with him. Now the interesting thing is that Vaya'al is as well. Actually, I'll ask you, how would you translate Vaya'al? And they went up, or he went up? How would you say it? He or they? He. Vaya'al is he. Yet who's the he? Aseret alfei ish, 10,000 men. 10,000 footmen. So is each individual, you can look at it in many different manners. Either you can say that the Aseret Alfei Ish, the 10,000 men, is one unit, and that's why it's Vaya'al, it went up. Who's the it? The 10,000 men. Okay? Because,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that would make sense, right? Because otherwise it's say Vaya'alu. So now, again, you have to look at each word here and try to figure out what's going on, because he went up at his feet. Who's the he? 10,000 men. And Vata'al imo Devora. And she went with him. Who's the she? Devora.
Yeah.
Okay, Vata'al Devora. So it should be Vata'al Devora imo. If I was rewriting the text, that's how it would be. Vata'al Devora imo, and Devora went with him. Because now and now that's also individual, right? Is very. Why does it separate Devora from the 10,000 men? That would be another question. It says Vaya'al Aseret Alfei Ish Vatal Devora.
Instead of saying they went up,
right? Instead of they. Who's they? Aseret Alfei Ish Devora. Why not just say that? Why do you have to separate that? That's a major question that one should ask. Okay, you understand the question, Bill?
That happens all the time in classical languages, where you have it's like a group of 10,000 men.
Right.
And the understood group is the subject.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or phalanx.
And that's a unit, singular.
Correct. Correct. But what I'm saying is, if you would say Vaya'al, why do you have to say Vata'al Devar? Why are you separating that? If you would have said Vayal as a unit, you have 10,000 men and one woman, still a unit still a male. He combine it, so you can say Vayal Biraglav. Who?
But she's not part of the fighting men.
Go ahead.
She's the prophetess. She's not part of the. She's there as a symbol of leadership.
Oh, very good, very good. So that's what you'd have to say. That she is separate. Remember, Barak asked her, "I'll only go if you go." So she is unlike every other woman in the system. In other words, I'll give you an example. When it says Vayelech Avram, Avram went with his wife and Lot and everybody else. Everybody's going because of him, because of Avram. Here, but when it's separate, when suddenly Sarah becomes the main character, so she gets some name there too. So here, Vatal imo Devor is telling us that Devor is the main character. She's not coming with Barak. She's not subservient, or whatever that word would be. She's not under him. Right. She's equal with him. And as a result, or even above, and as a result, Vata'al, she gets her verb herself. Vatal imo Devara. Who went with him? Devara went with him. You understand what I'm saying? So she's a leader. Yeah. She's not with the rest of the crowd.
And the emo is with him.
With him.
Not with them.
Right. Okay, there you go. So that's what we have to understand right away. That it's and it's a very important thing to understand grammatically why it would be Vaya'al Vata'al. Okay, and if you don't see that, if you don't think about that, so Devora ceases to become the main character and she just becomes one of the subsidiaries. So we have to realize that she is one of the main characters. Now we have the next one. V'chever hakeni nifrad mikayin. So now what happens is Chever, the Kenite, is separated from the Kayin or Kenites, and Mibnei Chovav Chotin Moshe. This Chever was from the children of Chovav. Who was Chovav? The father-in-law of Moshe. And who was in the Torah? Who's the father-in-law of Moshe? Yitro. So Yitro has 7 names. We know that from Torah. Yeah. He has 7 names. One of them is Chovav, and one of his Yitro, and so on and so forth. But this you're identifying. So this Chever is from the children of Chovav, who was the father-in-law of Moshe, and he's separated from Kayin, from the Kenites. V'yed ahalo ad elon b'tzanayim, and he moved his tent until as far as Elon b'tzanayim. That's where he pitched his tent. Asher et Kadesh, that was by Kadesh.
How old is he by now?
Who?
The father-in-law of Moshe.
I'm not sure he's even alive.
Oh wait, huh?
I'm not sure he's even alive. It's the Mibnei Chever. He's from the descendant of.
Identifying Chever. Yeah, okay.
Right, you just identify Chever. Yeah. So now the question is, again, what's going on here? Who we know who Chever is because we've been introduced formally that he is the son of Yitro, or the child, what do you call it? The descendant of Yitro, fine.
Yeah. But
he's still with the Kenites, so the Keni, and he separates now. Why did he separate? What's going on there? So the Mezuzah David just gives you Perush Edatzmo Mishar B'nei Kayin. He separated himself from the rest of the B'nei Kayin, Sheyashv B'midbar Yehuda, that were living in the wilderness of Yehuda, like it said at the beginning of the story. And Mibnei Chovav Al Kayin Hu Choser. That's this when it says children of Chovav, that's going back to Kayin, or the Kenites. The Kenites were the children of Yitro. And that's, so it's not really him per se. That's what the Mezuzah David is saying. V'yeda halo v'al shabash loma shenas Cisera Elohel Yael, and this was because it was talking that Cisera would flee to the tent of Yael, who was the Eshet Chever, the wife of this Chever Hakeni, l'chachichtim loma shechever nifrod mikayin v'nata alo bo, and that's why we have to hear now, since what's his name? Cisera is going to run to this guy's tent because he's an ally of Cisera, as far as he remembers. So that's why we have to hear that he moved his tent. In other words, how did Chever? The question is going to be, how did Chever get to Kadesh? Remember, that's where Barak is going, to Kadesh. And suddenly this guy is going to Kadesh. Why? What are you doing? You were in the wilderness of Yehuda. Stay where you are. You have nothing to do with this. And no, he separates himself. So that's what's going on there. Now, interesting enough, the whole thing that the readers, what's it called? The Judaica Press gives, and he says like this in note 11. You have it with you, so note 11. He said, Chever the Kenite, he was so called because he clung and became attached to God. Chavir, that's a Chavir, a friend. The children of Jethro were called Kenites because they made their home and nest, kan, you say kan, as kuf nun, in the desert to study Torah. Okay, so that's what they're doing, that's what they're there. So he separated from the Kenites. The rest of the Kenites dwelt in the wilderness of Yehuda. And he said, why? Actually, he separated himself from their place of, it goes to the next page, of dwelling, the wilderness of Yehuda, and not from being part of the family, as the verse would seem to imply. However, when Chever heard of this war, he wanted to help Israel, and deliberately caused a family dispute, so as to have a pretense to leave, and thereby show Cisera that he was no longer friendly with Israel. In this manner, he hoped to gain Sisera's confidence and then betray him. So, Chovav, the father-in-law of Moshe. Okay, that's just telling you the different names. Fine. So that's according to the digest of Barvanel, what's going on. So now the Malbim, he says, where is it? Chever Akeni, who Otsa the Mashabachi Nikayim, he was coming to, we have to hear about this, to fulfill the words of Devorah, which you say, Kibiyad Isha Yimkor Hashem et Sisra, that into the hand of a woman, Sisra, Hashem would give Sisra into the hands of the woman. And it was from Hashem that Chever, the Keni, separated from the family. Az miyeter achiv sheshachnu b'midbar Yehuda. V'nata alo karov l'kedesh, and will put his tent in Kedesh. Yom Shua, so be prepared for the day of salvation. Okay, that's what's going on there. So then it says, okay, we're all set. Everybody's good? That's why we have to hear all that background information. And then it says, that was 10, so 11, 12. 12, so it says, V'yagidu l'Sisra, and they told to Sisra, Ki Allah Barak ben Avinoam har Tavor. It was told to Sisra, they told to Sisra, that Barak, the son of Avinoam, went up to Har Tavor. Mount Tavor. Right? So they found it's good. He gets that information. What happens next? V'yazek Sisra ekol richbo. Sisra assembled all of his what do you call them? Chariots. Tisha meot rechev barzal, 900 iron chariots. Ve'kol ha'am asherito, and all the nation that was with him. Mecharosh Goyim, from this place called Merosh Goyim. Again, we talked about Merosh Goyim before, right? It was either a big forest or the place where all the nations got together, because that's where they were originally pushed by the Jews. Anyway, so they all gathered to this place called Charosh Goyim, and El Nachal Kishon, to the valley, to the brook. I'm sorry, to the brook of Kishon, and so. Okay, and that's where they're going to stay for a little while. So now what happens? Vatomer Devorah el Barak. 14. Devorah says to Barak, Kum! Get up! Get up! Command form, get up! Kizeh hayom, because this is the day Ashinatan Hashem et Sisra b'yedecha, that Hashem has given Sisra into your hands, or into your power. Hello, Hashem, Yadsal lefanecha. Surely Hashem has gone out before you. Vayered Barak mehar Tavor. So Barak went down from Har Tavor. V'sert alafim ish acharav, and 10,000 men after him. So what's going on there? Why are you saying get up? What does it mean get up?
It's time to go.
Time to go. Rasudas David says exactly that. Al titkaev. Do not remain here where you're protected by the mountains. You're not going to get it's over. Now it's time. Why? This is the day. The edict was made that today was fixed. Tanatschu et Sisra, that you would conquer or succeed over Sisra. V'lo tuchal od l'takev Bahar, and you no longer are able to remain in the mountains. Hello Hashem, surely Hashem, lo tira, surely Hashem has given you into your hands. I will go up before you. So therefore, lo tira leredet le'emek, do not fear to go down to the valley. Ki hello Hashem is with you. Surely Hashem is with you. This is very important to hear. Again, I want you to set up this. I want to set the scenario for you. I have 10,000 men with swords, if I'm lucky, and I have 900 nuclear weapons facing me. Let's look at today's standards. That's what I'm
The
facing.
chariots.
I'm saying 900
900
iron
is a lot,
chariots.
you said.
900 chariots is like 900 ballistic missiles
Boy.
with all my American firepower coming at me, and a well-trained army.
So what says the other side was not equipped like that?
Israel wasn't equipped like that. I'm saying Cisera
Oh,
was.
wait.
Cisera had all of the good armaments. They have 900 chariots, right? So I'm saying, just think, and let's update that. 900 iron chariots. They had tanks.
Yeah.
They had tanks that are
Yeah.
coming at you, and I have pitchforks.
And the 10,000 didn't have that.
10,000 didn't have tanks. They didn't have chariots. They had nothing. They had a sword and they had a shield, if you're lucky. It's nothing. 10,000 men. That's all you're coming up against this. It's no good. And by the way, if Cisera had 900 iron chariots, it means he had a lot more people coming with him. The guy saw, he had a lot of people there. And so Barak, again, no matter how good the prophetess is, it's just human nature to be afraid.
Yeah.
You're seeing immense odds of winning this battle without losing men, certainly. And so now suddenly she's saying, okay, get up, get ready. It's here. The day is here.
This is it. No, what
This is
are you waiting
it.
for, right?
Right, this is it. This is the day. This is your day you've been waiting for. Now, he doesn't know, Barak doesn't know that Chever has split off. He doesn't know that Yael is getting ready. He doesn't know anything like that. He doesn't know. He only knows what he sees. Okay, let's understand that. He doesn't see what's happened behind the scenes, what God has set up. Okay? We know what God has set up. And we say, wow, what a great plan. But he doesn't know. And then certainly the 10,000 people with him does not know. They're following Barak because Devorah's there, but that's about it. So now what happens is, let me just see. So the Malbim says, he's also saying, Lo tamtin ad yom acher, do not wait another day. In other words, don't keep planning. Ki kavar yatzah Hashem lefenach, because Hashem has already gone up before you. Kavar tchil lahakot, and he's already begun to smote Bol Chalal and the people. Fine. So now it goes on. Vayaham, so she's telling him, Vayaham Hashem et Cisera, that Hashem has confused Cisera. And that's also a question. What do you mean confused? Ve'kol rechev, and all of the chariots. Ve'kol machaneh, and all of the camp. Lefi cherev, lefi Barak. According to the sword before Barak. Vayeret Cisera me'al hamerkava ve'enat baraklav. And Cisera had got off from on his chariot, and he started to run with his feet. In other words, he started to run on foot. Fine. What's going on there? What does it mean by Yaham? That would be one of the questions. How is Hashem confusing them? And then, I'm emphasizing here, Rechev, it says, I call Rechev. And then, I call Machaneh. And what's mean Lefi Cherev? According to by the edge of the sword, he says. What do you mean before the edge of the sword? They haven't engaged in battle yet.
Maybe he sees them all like charging with sword in hand.
Right, so?
Like 10,000 would be a lot of people.
Yeah, but you have a lot more, and you're a trained army.
Maybe he hasn't got a chance to get his people mounted up on the chariots.
No, he's already.
They were both charging.
Yeah, he says, Vayazek Cisera called Richvo. He had everybody assembled. And he was already charging.
Oh.
He's already coming. Okay, again.
Oh, yeah, he gathered his chariots.
Got everybody together. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what? Yeah, I'm
they
sorry.
They were at the Brook Kishon.
Yeah.
I saw, but who knows what? It doesn't say what they were doing there. It doesn't really say that. Why are we assuming they were in a state of readiness? Maybe they were feeding or drinking or something there.
Because he's. It would make sense. It would make sense that they were ready for war because it says he assembled them.
Yeah.
And he assembled everybody together, so they know they're going into war. Once you go into war, you're holding your ground, but you're not going to stop watering your flock. He's not going to stop watering.
It makes sense that they would be on the alert.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So now the Malbim is very clear about this. He says, "V'yam lifnei Barak, perish me'ari shehamamu lifnei bo Barak." What they did was God confused them before Barak came. She'eshmiel azno kol rechav v'sus, and they heard. He caused them to hear the voice of the chariots and the horses. V'ivchidu, and they became afraid. Kavar nes not Cisera. This was already running away. So again, this person brings down that the Lord confused us before Barak. The Barvanel explains that before Barak approached, God had already put fear and confusion into Sisera's men. Rav Joseph Cairo explains that the Lord confused them with heavenly thunder, which caused them to panic and stab each other. That's Lefi Cherev, with the sword.
Oh, with their own sword.
Yeah.
No.
They haven't engaged yet. So they hear all these things, they start to panic and stab each other. So why did he go on foot? That's another question. If I have my tank, or I have my car, or whatever it is, so why am I at my chariot? If you want to leave, get out of there. Hit the chariot and hit the horse and move.
Totally confused, apparently.
It's this Cisera that we're talking about. We're talking about a guy who's been in battle after battle after battle.
Why would the leader get so confused?
So he says, so as not to be detected. He didn't want to be. Right. So the man always explains that Cisera felt that he would expedite his escape. That's what he wants to say. So an amazing thing how we're getting into how these people want to run. So he's running by foot. Uvarak Radaf, now we're 16. Uvarak Radaf Acharei Harechev Acharei Machaneh. So Barak pursued after the chariot. Again, while I'm saying chariot, it certainly is the group of chariots. V'acharei hamachaneh, and after the camp, ad charosh hagoyim, until charosh hagoyim. Vayipol kol machaneh Sisera lefi charev, and the whole camp of Sisera fell by the sword. Lo nishar ad echad, not one remained. So he said, 16, 15. So the Malbim explains, Uvarak Radaf, Raslimor, Lo Lahem Rak Radaf, Achrei Borchim. He wants to say that it was, sorry. Lo Lahem Rak, he didn't fight with them, he only pursued after the ones who were running. And all the camp was following with corpses. He's not even shooting at them yet. That's what the Radak wants to say. That's what the Malbim wants to say, because it says Baruch Radaf. He ran after them. So he's trying to be medayik on that. He's running. Okay. And so what does he say? Okay, fine. So now what happens? So nobody's left, and the Cisera Nasbaraglav. So Cisera, again we heard this before, fled by foot. El Ohel Yael. So he comes to the tent of Yael, who's Yael? Eshet Chever Akeni. She is the wife of Chever the Kenite. Kishalom ben Yavin Melech Chatzor, because there was peace between Yavin, who was the king of Chatzor, Uvein Beit Chever Akeni, and the house, and between the house of Chever the Kenites. So we have a peace treaty going on. We have an alliance. We have Chever, who was part of that peace treaty, and he's separated from his group anyway. And we have Yavin, who was Sisera's boss. Okay? So there's a peace treaty. So if there's a peace treaty and I have an alliance, so certainly if I'm running away, I can go to them and they'll protect me. Or I can at least hide by them for a little while. Yes? That makes sense? So, it says, so The Metzudas David says Ki Shalom v'lazeh chashav lihimalei shama. That's why he thought he could survive there. So this Malbim says for Cisera, Hinimara sha'alpo eich asta Yael kedavar harazeh. The Mara asks a question. How is it possible that Yael could do such a horrible thing? Laharog et Cisera achesh shalom beino uvein beit bala. Since there was a peace treaty between Cisera or Yavin and between the house of her husband, Uva lebeita, and he came to her house. V'zen neged chukei hamedinot. And this goes against the statutes of the state. You understand the question, right? Here, Yael's going to kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to put his peg through his skull, get him sleepy, put a peg, and kill him, and that's the end of it. So we know that. The Malbim knows that. And so the Malbim is saying the Mahara, who also knew that, asked a very simple question. If I have a peace treaty going on, so how can I, a woman, go against the peace treaty? How can I do that? I'm not, you're taking your life into your hands. Why would you want to do that? And I say according to his opinion, that this peace treaty that was between Yavin and the household of Chever was a general peace treaty with the people of the Kenites, Hashochlim b'midbar Yehuda, that dwelt in the desert of the wilderness of Yehuda. Sha'al zeh amar ubein beit Chever Keni, and that's why it says between beit Chever Keni. Ve'atasha nifrod Chever me'ed Echav. But now that Chever had separated from his brothers, his family, v'nata halo bein b'nei Yisrael, and he pitched his tent between b'nei Yisrael, ein alav chiyuv habrit shal b'nei Keni. He no longer has the obligation of the covenant of the children of Keni. He nifrod mehem, because he's separated from them. That's number one. You understand what he's saying? As an American, we have a peace treaty with, name a country we have a peace treaty with. Germany. Okay, fine. So now I separate and I go to another side. I, an American, go to another side, another country that no longer has a peace treaty per se with Germany. So now the German officer sees I'm an American because I fly the American flag even when I am, and he says, "Oh, so this is a neutral zone for me. I can run the house." Then what happens? Then I kill him. So he's going to say, "Wait, we had a treaty." You're going to say, we had a treaty with the Americans. Yeah, but I'm not American. I separate. I went to Canada. We don't have a peace treaty with you. Right? So that's what Chever is doing. That's what the Malbim is saying. Since he separated from him, he no longer was bound by that general covenant.
He ran away.
He ran away. He separated from the family. So if I separate from the family, I'm no longer bound by what the family has decided. And now I can act upon myself. Not a problem.
Maybe she considered him some kind of a war criminal or something.
Well, remember, we're saying that Chever wanted to help the Jews out anyway. So he was a sympathizer, an Israeli sympathizer. That's what they would call him today. So he wants to help him out, but he can't help him out if he's still hooked up with the original clan, so he separates. But Cisera doesn't understand that. Yeah. Cisera thinks he's just part of the clan. So if I'm part of the clan, then I have a safety zone. It's all a matter of understanding everybody's role in this game. If I don't tell you, Moshe Katz will call it Marad. You're a rebel. How do you always call it? When somebody goes to another minion, he'll always call him you're a traitor. You're a traitor. But it's I forget the Hebrew word for that. But that's what he's saying. He doesn't know he's a traitor yet. He thinks he's one of the people. So that's why he's going to the tent. That's Cisera. He thinks he's going. And the question is, how can she act like a traitor? And the answer is because the original thing was broken when he moved away. He no longer is bound by that original peace treaty. Yes or not?
You're talking about
Chever.
yeah, because I thought you. I was thinking that when Cisera ran away,
No,
he left the protection of the treaty. Also.
No. He didn't leave anything. He's running away to try to save himself.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So, but he's not running away from the treaty. He's going to what he holds is good territory for him, namely the Kenites. He sees a Kenite flag. He runs into their tent. That's all, because he thinks that that's a neutral zone. Because Israel doesn't have a fight with Kenite, and Kenite doesn't have a fight with Yavin, so they're the new neutral zone. That's all. So I'm going to go to the neutral zone. That's number one. That's the first reason. And also the second one, Tom Bait, the second reason is, like the Ramah writes, Shanas El Ohel Yael, that he fled to the tent of Yael. Va'isha Batorah Minyane Amadinot. And a woman is exempted from the matters of the state. Vihi Asta Zot, and she did all this, Lo Bala, and not her husband. So that's another excuse that we go with. That the woman is not bound by the treaty of her husband. She's not bound by the state. She's exempted from that. Why? Because a woman doesn't go to war. The woman stays home. She's on the home fire, so she doesn't nothing to do with her. That's another reason. And perhaps you don't need any of this. Because the Beit Chever, the house of Chever, was from Israel. And how is it possible that they wouldn't engage in their battles with them in their tents? Because they were from the tribes they were from the people of Israel. Chever is the father-in-law of Moshe. So you have a connection. So why would you expect it? In other words, even if I don't want to say that they separated for reasons to help the Jews, why is he so foolish? They're related. Cisera should understand that Chever was a Chovav, was the relative connected to Moshe.
And he should have known that?
Yeah, everybody knew that. Everybody knew that. Remember, because Chovev, Yitro, was a big person in Midian.
Yeah.
So when he welcomes Moshe into his family, and thus you have that connection, what you do is make an alliance between the Jews right then and there. So, and now Moshe and his group are the ruling powers. So Chever is protected by that. The family Kenite is protected by that because they're living in their land and they're learning their Torah. Why would you assume that they're such friendly folk for you when you are attacking their family? Even if they don't like their family so much, still is my family.
Cisera is clearly missing some things here.
Yavin and Cisera, both. The king is missing. The king is missing because he just has a lot of hatred. So he doesn't want to get involved. So he just wants to, hatred will cover everything. Cisera, while he may know the history, all he knows right now as a military man is who I have an alliance with. But still in all, what we know in the background story, and that's probably the most important thing. You know, when imagine you come to this town, good old South Bend. Okay? We have a lot of people who are related to each other but don't have the same last name. Yeah. A lot of people. Your in-laws, your son-in-laws are an example of that. Okay? Where I won't use names because now on at this point. So, but you take one son here, you take one kid here, one kid here. You don't know their cousins, and you get involved in that machlokes, in that fight. And they come to you and say, "What are you doing? We're brothers, or we're relatives, or we're cousins." And even, by the way, think about the other family, the other gigantic family here, who does have sisters who have totally different names. And you don't know that those kids are related, and you see them fighting, and you tell one on the other, you're getting a whole,
you got grandkids,
right? You're getting into a whole bunch of headaches because you don't realize the family structure. So I'm the guy walking in, and I see something on. I want to stop it, or I want to jump on one side, get friendly with one, because I don't like the other side. Well, that doesn't help, because they're not going to pick me over you, over family, normally.
Yeah.
I mean, push comes to shove. They're not going to pick me over the family. And by the way, you see that every time when we get into trouble as Jews, when we're being attacked anywhere in the world, what happens? Even though we don't have any real relationship with people in France or in Europe anymore or in Israel for the most part, we don't have really... We don't have a relationship where I'm calling them up and saying, Tzaddik, what's going on? What grade did you get in your test? It's not what I do. Yet, when they're in trouble, what do? We all cry over it. We all say Tehillim for them. We all send our money. When it came to that last war that they were having, we all were sending money, getting what they want. Ambulances or something. I forget what they raised the money for. But people were giving because we care. It's our family. You can't get involved in family. And that's what Cisera wasn't getting. You picked a side. You thought they were on your side? Forget it. We're family. And we're going to pick family over blood over you any day. Okay, and that's where we'll have to stop.
Okay.